Vice President, Human Resources, Cindy Harrison, and from the Jackson Area Career Center, Assistant Principal, Lauren Kyser. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Cindy's also Vice President of HR for Henry Ford Health Central Market. Yes. Great to have you here. So you two are teaming up for something.
We are. We're very excited about this.
What do you got going?
We are doing a healthcare camp, our first ever, June 19th through the 23rd for Jackson Public Schools and Western kids who are in 6th to 8th grade.
Nice. So I went to, baseball camp, basketball camp,
football camp,
science camp. What about healthcare camp? Tell me about this idea and how it came to be.
So this is so exciting. We need healthcare workers, and this is an area that we don't have as much access to talent as our counterparts in the Detroit area.
Right.
So we decided about a year and a half ago we needed to grow our own. So we started thinking about how that might work and started partnering with the Jackson Public Schools and the Career Center and Jackson College to develop a healthcare curriculum and to start talking to kids in middle school about health careers. Mm-hmm. So we came up with this idea of having a camp to expose kids to health careers. I think when kids think about health careers, they think doctor, nurse.
And that's
but
it,
there
right?
are so many other opportunities. So we started talking with the Career Center, and Dan and Lauren were all in. So we are having kids in that week. They'll be at the hospital. We'll provide transportation through the schools. Kids will be dropped off at their school, we'll pick them up, bring them to the hospital, and they'll have the opportunity to see the OR, the emergency room, the lab, X-ray imaging, all those areas that you might not think about, and see what happens there, and talk to our professionals. We'll provide a snack and lunch, and then they'll go to the Career Center and do some cool science experiments,
yeah.
and Lauren could probably talk more about that part of it.
Pretty cool for the kids. You don't get to just walk around the OR casually.
Right.
No.
Right. And it's great that they'll be seeing all the different areas, as you mentioned. And then, after lunch, they'll come out to Career Center where they're going to work with Career Center instructors and see various sides of the healthcare career from different perspectives. So they'll work with our instructors who are nursing instructors and also our EMS instructor. So they'll have one day where they will see what an EMS life looks like. They'll see the ambulance, they'll see what that career path might take. They'll get to climb inside the ambulance, check out all the different aspects of it. Our instructors are really excited about being able to show students, hey, this is something else that you can do when you're in high school. Here's an introduction to the healthcare fields, but also look at these cool programs that you can have to create that building block toward your future. So we're very excited about that.
Will they experience Andy's favorite part of the hospital, the cafeteria?
Absolutely.
Most underrated part.
Well, and so important. Food also promotes health, if you're eating healthy food. So they will be in food service and housekeeping. They'll see all of the opportunities. And then once they've been with us and they see kind of what they're interested in, we have a whole healthcare curriculum between the Career Center, the public schools, and Jackson College that we could take them all the way through to their associate's degree, and with Michigan State if they want to complete their BSN or other after that.
Is there a cost for this?
There is no cost. Ooh. Completely free.
That's unbelievable.
It's amazing. I was just telling Cindy, the cost of camps, summer camps. I'm signing my kids up for summer camps. And
what's 6 hours cost, right?
It's a lot. It is a lot. So an opportunity that is definitely not one to look away from. And you mentioned our partnership with the college. I think that's great to talk about as well. One of the days we're actually going to have the students on the campus of JC. They're going to go through the labs there. They'll see what it looks like. So cool. They'll get experiences in each of the buildings.
That's awesome. When you're in the hospital, sometimes the doctor will come in trailed by 3 or 4 students. They also weigh in on a diagnosis. Will the middle school kids get to give their opinion on what's wrong with
I think that wouldn't be a good idea at this point. In the future, if they go through a healthcare college courses, they would be able to do that.
What about a deadline for interested parents to sign their young kids up?
May 1st deadline.
Okay.
Real easy. All they need to do is go to henryford.com/camp.
Cool. How many kids will you be taking?
We'll do 30 kids.
Nice.
And we'd love to have a waiting list.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're going to fill up like
Yeah.
that.
I hope so. And if it goes well, we'll expand it next year.
And I'm sure you're going to get kids that at that moment, while they're at that camp, they're going to make that decision that, wow, this is where I want to be.
That's what we hope.
I didn't know there was any jobs outside of doctor and nurse until recently, really.
There are so many
Yeah.
things that
So
they're going
many.
to see. It's
Yeah.
great what they're going to be exposed to during this experience.
Yeah.
Well, you actually, you've got one of those frequent punch cards.
I do, yes. Yeah. Thank you, Dr.
At the
Kim.
hospital. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sometimes they're not for me, they're for my family
Right.
members, right? Sometimes I'm visiting.
Well, and one of the things too that students are going to be exposed to is physical therapy.
Yeah.
And some of our students see physical therapy through, sports injuries or things like that too. So this is a great window into that. So they'll be spending some time. It doesn't necessarily have to be emergent care or
Right.
something where, you go to the doctor because you're sick, but the PT aspect is something we're excited about as well.
How many health career paths do you have at the Career Center, Lauren?
So currently we have Health Tech 1 and 2, but we also have dental. We also have fire, which has a partnership with Jackson College to get that EMS certificate. So there are different paths into healthcare, and we need students for each one of those paths. And we are excited to get kids exposure to all these things.
This is very cool. Very, very cool idea.
Cindy, are there careers that Henry Ford where all you need is a high school diploma or some sort of career tech?
There are several. High school diploma, there are clerical positions, food service, EVS, which is, our EVS in a hospital is sort of infection control. I mean, it's a very important position, and I think people don't really think about how important that is when they're working in a hospital. There are also several positions, MA, nurse's assistant, lab tech, lab assistant, that some of those positions just take a certificate to complete to be able to work with us. We'll be doing a nursing assistant program through the Career Center and MLK later this summer. That's a 2-week program, and then we could hire them to work with us. So those are opportunities for adults too.
Yeah, so you're reaching deep, way into middle school to get future employees. You've got some patience.
Yes.
You have to.
Patience, pardon the pun. In the hospital, I think we haven't been able to really get into the hospital because of the pandemic. So
Right.
this is opening really
Yes.
for the first time for a lot of these people.
Absolutely. And we're
Absolutely.
putting a couple of scholarships together too for nursing that will be available in the next couple of months. So lots of opportunities for careers in healthcare.
What do you think will be the most surprising for the kids over the course of the camp?
I think some of the things will be kind of the coolest. I think the lab will be amazing to some of them. X-ray imaging, I think they don't think about. You break a bone, this is what it looks like on an X-ray. This is what an MRI machine is like. This is how we look at these images and how we make a decision about your treatment.
Yeah, I think these middle school kids, you're going to be overwhelmed. They're going to sign up right away, and then you're going to have, this will be a permanent part of what you guys are doing
That's
together.
what we're hoping.
Yeah.
And right now we are kind of narrow in the fact that we're partnering with Jackson Public and Western, but we're really hoping that with the success of this, that we'll be able to expand it to other schools in the county,
Yes.
Get more teachers on board, really send a broad net, because we'd love to get as much interest as possible.
Absolutely. And there's nothing to lose. It's free.
Yeah.
So kids
Free.
can come and just have a great, fun week and maybe start a new career.
Are there any requirements of the students to be participants in the camp?
They just have to have their vaccinations up to date.
Okay. That sounds pretty easy.
Easy enough.
Easy enough?
So sign up like right now
Yes.
before it's too late. Well, really cool program. I'm sure we'll look in on camp once it's up and running.
Be great.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much for
Thank you for
having
having
us.
Cindy Harrison is Vice President Human Resources for Henry Ford Health Central Market, and Lauren Kyser is Assistant Principal at the Jackson Area Career Center. More of the morning show, stay tuned.
It's coming, winter, and those dry, itchy skin blues. The good news? Farmsuds is now open in downtown